Hey guys, so today we are going to be doing another tier list. I have not done a tier list video for a long time. The last one that I did was a tier list on the operators in Rainbow Six Siege, which I actually uploaded in April 2021. So this has probably been my most requested video to make. Everyone's been telling me to do my tier list of the maps in Rainbow Six Siege. Now there are 20 maps in this game, and there have been 20 since March 2019, which was year 4, season 1, but a bunch of the maps have been reworked, and this is the most updated template that I could find. Some of the pictures here for these maps aren't like the newest reworks, but I will be judging all of these based on their newest reworked forms, basically. And these aren't all just ranked maps. There's actually 6 maps that aren't available in ranked. They're just in quick match or whatever. So I'm just going to be ranking all the maps, just generally how I like playing on them, whether it's ranked or quick match. I'm not going to be judging based on the appearance of the map or how well made it is. I'm going to be judging them solely on gameplay mechanics and how good they are actually in the game, or at least how good I can play on them. So, yeah. Alright, so before we get started, it is currently January 2022. I told you guys that I was going to do this tier list at the beginning of the new year, so now that it's 2022, my channel is over a year old now. It's time to do the map tier list. And yes, I will be doing another operator tier list, probably in March or April of this year, when the new season comes out, which will be actually year 7, season 1. So, yes, Rainbow Six Siege is a very old game now, but we're still getting new map reworks and new operators all the time. So yeah, we're going to get started here. We're just going to go in the order that these are presented. And yeah, this is going to be a little bit shorter than my last tier list video because there's only 20 maps in this game. And there's not too much to talk about. I'm just going to talk about generally why I like or don't like the map and what tier it's going to get. We're going to be rating these from D tier to S tier, so D is the worst, S is the best. I don't think we need any more than 5 tiers. I think 5 is enough. And yeah, that is about it. Alright, so let's start with Bank. Bank is generally a map that I enjoy playing on. I'd say my favorite spot on this map is probably a certain window at the front of the building, where I can usually just rappel up as an attacker, just punch through the window and just start spraying at the defenders if their site is upstairs. And there's lots of good spots on this map. I would say, in my opinion, Bank is more attacker-sided, but I do think the defenders have an advantage in the basement area of the map. But otherwise, I'd say the attackers have the advantage. And generally, I like playing on Bank. It's a pretty fun map. So we're going to put Bank in A tier. There we go, the first placement. Okay, so next up we actually have Border. Now, Border just got reworked during Crimson Heist, which was year 6, season 1. Border is an okay map. Sometimes I don't like it and sometimes I do. So I think it deserves to be like in the middle of the tier list, so we're going to put it in B tier. And it's just a well-rounded map. I don't think it's really attacker-sided or defender-sided. There's good spots for both attackers and defenders. And yeah, we seem to get it in ranked all the time. It's just generally one of those maps that nobody really wants to play on, but doesn't really ban right away either. It's just kind of like a right in the middle mediocre map. So we're gonna put Border in B tier. Alright, so next up is Chalet. Now, Chalet is a map that my opinion has really changed on, actually, over the years of playing Siege. I used to not enjoy this map as much, and then when they reworked it, I liked it a little bit better. And just recently, I've just been enjoying Chalet a lot more than I used to. And I think I'm actually going to put Chalet in A tier up there with Bank. I don't know, I enjoy playing on it. When they reworked it, they made it a lot more attacker-sided. Chalet used to be a really defender-sided map, I would say, and honestly it still is. The defenders have a lot of advantages on this map, especially in the basement. But yeah, this map is pretty fun to play on, and I usually do pretty decent on it, so we're going to put Chalet in A tier. Okay, so as you guys can see, next up is everyone's favorite, Clubhouse. I'm sure there's a few people out there that hate this map, but like in all honesty, it seems like everybody enjoys Clubhouse. I haven't really met anyone who actually hates this map, and I think most people would put this map in S tier. I'm going to put it in S tier as well. It's usually almost never banned and ranked, and it's just a really well-rounded map. I'm going to say this map is not defender-sided or attacker-sided. I think everyone has advantages based on different sites throughout the map. The worst site would probably be the main floor, actually, but there's two sites upstairs, and then there's the basement site, which can be really good for the defenders and the attackers. And yeah, Clubhouse is just a really good, well-rounded map, like Border, but just more enjoyable for everyone, I would say. So we're going to put Clubhouse in S tier, of course. Alright, so finally we have arrived at a map where my opinion is going to be quite controversial. This map is Coastline. A lot of people really like this map. It seems honestly like higher ranked people like this map more, and in the lower ranks people actually hate this map more. When I play Siege, I'm usually in silver, so I'm usually like an average rank, I guess. I'm pretty sure the average rank is silver 1. And honestly, for me, Coastline, I don't like it. I don't like playing on it. I usually go negative on this map. I'm going to be honest with you guys. And I know a lot of people really like this map. I'm not going to put it in D tier because it isn't like terrible. We do win on this map. I'd say half the time. But generally, I just don't like playing on it. There's a lot of really annoying spots where I can get spawn peeked if I'm attacking, and if I'm getting defended, or if I'm being a defender. There's I feel like there's a lot of really like open spots where the attackers can just kind of shoot me from the roof or whatever. The map just seems really open, and I don't like it very much. So we're gonna put Coastline in C tier. Okay, so next up we have another map that I don't like very much, and this is also a map that I think most people dislike. I think most people would put this map probably in C tier, and honestly, I'm actually going to put Consulate in D tier. This map just isn't very enjoyable to play on. I get spawn picked on this map all the time, and so do my teammates. People just love running out on this map. There's so many windows everywhere. It honestly just seems like a big version of Bank in all the wrong ways. Well, not really big. It's probably the same size as Bank. Overall, the outside of the map is actually quite similar to Bank, but the inside is a lot different. And I'd say the only enjoyable place to defend on this map is in the basement at the garage, which is kind of difficult for attackers to attack on. And just attacking anywhere on this map is unenjoyable because there's spawn peeking and runouts all the time. So I'm going to put this map in D tier, and if they do a rework on Consulate, I'd be pretty happy. Alright, so now we have Favela, which is probably the most hated map in Siege right now. Not by me, but just generally by all Siege players, I would say. This map just gets banned like every single time it comes up. Now the picture for Favela here is actually the old Favela. This map just got reworked in Year 6, Season 2, so not too long ago. Now the map actually takes place at nighttime, and they changed a lot of stuff. And I actually like the rework. I think it made the map better. But overall, my opinions for this map have been a giant zigzag. When I first started playing Siege, I really hated this map, and I feel like most people actually liked it back then. And then I started to come around to it more, and I realized how attacker-sided this map actually is. And then they reworked the map, and they made it a lot more defender-sided, but I'd say the attackers still have a really large advantage on Favela. There's like tons of windows where the attackers can kind of just like swoop in, and there's still lots of like wooden walls that can be breached, and it's just a very like easily attackable map. And It's kind of messy, it's really kind of like scrambled up, and it's actually in ranked now too, which is one of the reasons why so many people hate it. So I'm going to put Favela in C tier. I don't hate it, but it's not the best map to play on, especially since most of the time I'm on it is in ranked, and it's not very enjoyable. So it's going to get C tier. So we have finally made it to one of the 6 maps that is not in ranked currently, and this map is called Fortress. Honestly, I don't know if this map has ever been in ranked. It's an interesting map. It's quite large, it seems like. There's not actually that many individual rooms, but each room seems pretty big. And like the center of the map seems kind of open, but then as you get into some of the smaller rooms, especially upstairs, the map seems a lot smaller and more compact. And generally, I just haven't played on this map very much because it's only in quick match. And I'd say it's more of a defender-sided map. So I mean, I don't really have much to say about this map. I'm probably just going to put it in C tier as well, with Coastline and Favela. It's not bad, but it's not very great either. So here's another map that is not in ranked currently. This is called Hereford Base. Now, my opinions on Hereford Base have also kind of changed a lot as I've played this game. This is also a map that just isn't very common. This map is, it almost seems like pretty dark. Like, I know outside it's all like stormy and everything, but inside the map as well, it's not a very well lit map. It's kind of similar to Oregon, but mostly just darker. And the basement on this map is very large. The basement is like the same width as the rest of the building, which I can't say the same for a lot of the other maps in this game. And I'd say this map is more well-rounded for attackers and defenders. I don't think either really has a huge advantage here. And honestly, I don't have anything that bad to say about Hereford Base, or that good, so I think we're going to put it in B tier. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally made it to my favorite map in the game. This map is called House, and this map is quite controversial as well. It's not in ranked, probably because it's like the smallest map in the game. But yeah, it's literally just what it says. It's a house. It's just an average-sized house, I would say. It's kind of messy. It's not like a very like, I don't know what word to use. It's kind of like a puzzling map, but it's also very small. It's pretty easy to get used to, and they reworked this map a few years back, and a lot of people were not happy with the rework, especially since House is the most common map used for custom games. People do like a Garage Wars and stuff on this map. So I would have to agree, this is my favorite map for custom games. I love playing it in quick match, and generally I'd say House is actually attacker-sided. A lot of people are going to say it's defender-sided, but I think attackers have an advantage on House just because of how small it is. It's a lot easier to find the objectives, and there's lots of windows where the attackers can just kind of rappel in, just kind of like on Favela. So I'm actually going to put House in S tier. So there we go. Alright, so moving on to Cafe Dostoyevsky. Don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Everybody calls this map Cafe because of how hard it is to pronounce. It's basically just a giant cube in the middle of Russia, but the inside of the map is very intricate. This map is very large. I think there's actually like 3 floors. There's no basement, but there's like a ground floor and then like 2 additional floors on top of that. On the outside, this map, like I said, it's just a giant cube made out of bricks. But then on the inside, there's lots of wooden walls, great for getting wall bangs, and it's a lot of fun playing as the defenders in the kitchen area, which is on the main floor. And it's also a lot of fun attacking on kitchen as well, especially if you push kind of where the garage area is. I feel like that's a great place for attackers to push and then kind of spread around the kitchen and attack from there. And yeah, this map has multiple floors. It's a lot of fun to play on, and generally, I'd say we probably only win like half the time on this map. Like, it's not like the best map for, like, for objectives and stuff, but it is a lot of fun to play on, and I think I do pretty well on it. So I'm gonna put Cafe in A tier. Okay, so here is another great example of a map that has really just kind of been a zigzag for me in terms of how I like it. This map is called Canal, and I would argue that this map is actually more defender-sided now, but when I used to play on this map, I used to think that it was more attacker-sided actually. And it's also a very large map like Cafe, but the shape of this map is really odd. There's a really, really large outside area around the map where the attackers can kind of position themselves. And this building is almost like two large buildings that kind of have like a small walkway that's kind of attaching them. There's lots of like weird like tunnels and like hallways where the defenders can kind of move around a lot. So there is a lot of spawn peeking on this map, but there's also a lot of great entry points for the attackers. So generally, I don't hate this map or love it. I'd say, as it stands right now, Canal is going to go into B tier for me. Okay, next is another fan favorite. This map is called Oregon, and I'd say it's between Clubhouse and Oregon for the two maps that are probably the least banned and ranked. Generally, people really enjoy these maps, and well, there's a lot of good reasons for it. I'm not going to get into every one, but Oregon, I'd say, is a really good, well-rounded map for attackers and defenders. There's some tall areas with some very specially placed windows where the defenders can get some good spawn peeks in, but like Canal, there's a lot of good entry points for attackers. And this map also has a lot of like wooden breakable walls and hatches. But yeah, just generally, this map has, I'd say, pretty well-rounded like sites in terms of like what sites are better for attackers or defenders or whatever. There's actually two sites on the main floor, one upstairs and one in the basement, and all of them have their advantages and disadvantages. But yeah, this map is pretty well-rounded. A lot of people like it. I like it too. And we're going to put Oregon in S tier. Why not? Alright, so we are starting to run out of maps, but next up we have Outback. And my opinion on Outback is also going to be quite controversial. I feel like people used to appreciate this map a lot more before it got reworked, because they just reworked Outback this season, which is year 6, season 4, high caliber. And when they reworked this map, they actually added it to ranked. So I think a lot of people like this map more in quick match because it is a very kind of like messy and scrambled map, a little bit chaotic. But yeah, it's in ranked now, and a lot of people don't like that. I actually enjoy this map in ranked. It usually gets banned all the time, just like Favela or like Skyscraper. But yeah, I do enjoy this map a lot. I like playing on it. I'd say it's more defender-sided, for sure. But yeah, the rework didn't do too much. It just kind of fixed up some of the areas that were just kind of annoying for both defenders and attackers. And yeah, generally this map isn't amazing, but I do like it. So we're going to put this map in A tier. I feel like most people are going to put this map probably somewhere around here. But there we go, A tier. Okay, so next up is Presidential Plane. This and House probably compete for the two smallest maps in the game. Presidential Plane has a lot of rooms and a lot of different like areas where people can camp or just have sites, I guess, or where attackers can enter. But each room in this map is really small. After all, it's literally on a plane. It's a giant presidential plane, but still, it's a plane compared to like these giant fortresses and secret bases and places where maps usually are in this game. So yeah, it's kind of interesting having a map inside of a giant vehicle. But presidential plane is, I'd say it's probably a controversial one as well. I think this map is really divided on how people like it. I'm going to put this map in C tier because I don't hate it, but generally I think this map is just, it's pretty messy, and some attackers are actually able to, well, not some, Callie is able to shoot through the windows on this map. Her sniper bullets can actually go through the windows, which actually, I would say this map is more defender-sided just because of how small it is, but at the same time, my argument for House being attacker-sided was that, you know, the map is smaller, so it's a lot easier to find the sites and for everyone to kind of push in. And plus the fact that Callie has now come out, well, a few years ago now, and she's able to shoot through the windows on the plane, which causes some serious problems for the defenders. I'm going to put this map in C tier and say that it's attacker-sided now. Okay, so next is Skyscraper. Now I do have to say Skyscraper is a really beautiful map, really well designed, but I'm not going to be rating the maps after that at all. So we're going to be rating Skyscraper on how it actually plays out in the game. Now, Skyscraper is an interesting one. I feel like Skyscraper kind of has like a bandwagon where everyone just kind of automatically assumes this map is really bad and just votes for it to be banned and ranked. The three most banned maps are probably Outback, Favela, and Skyscraper. I feel like they're banned all the time. I don't know why people started hating this map so much, because I feel like it didn't used to be that way. But I've been talking with a lot of people lately about, you know, the different maps and what tiers they would be in and stuff. And a lot of people say that they would actually put Skyscraper more in the middle of their tier list. And a lot of people are like, yeah, you know, Skyscraper isn't actually that bad. It gets banned all the time. And I'm going to say this map is defender-sided. I feel like the defenders usually win on this map. But it's another one of those maps that has a lot of like wooden walls and stuff where the attackers can just kind of breach everything. So yeah, I'm going to put Skyscraper in B tier. I think it deserves to be in the middle of the list. A lot of people I feel like would just join the bandwagon and put it in D tier or something, but it's not that bad realistically. Okay, so next is Theme Park. I'm just going to come out and say this. We're going to put Theme Park in C tier. Generally, I dislike it, but I don't think it deserves D tier. D tier is going to be reserved for the absolute worst maps. So yeah, we're going to put Theme Park in C tier. Theme Park is a pretty big map. It's got some really good spots for the attackers to kind of come in, but there's a lot of good like angles on this map for the defenders to kind of hold, depending on what different sites they have. And I enjoy Theme Park a lot more in Quick Match than I do in Ranked. The sites that you can get in Secure Area and Hostage on this map are a lot more fun, I feel like, than the bomb sites, which are the only ones you can play in Ranked. So I'm going to put this map in C tier. Generally in Ranked I don't like this map at all, but in Quick Match I do have a lot of fun with it. And overall it's a very C tier map. Okay, to start off the final three, we have Tower. Now, Tower is a map that is hated by a lot of people. A lot of people really hate this map. Some people say that Tower is actually kind of a small map. I would argue that Tower is actually very large. It's actually a very large map. I think it's got 3 floors. It's almost like the map seems so small because it's the top of like this giant tall tower. But realistically, it's actually a very large map. And it's not really attacker-sided or defender-sided. I'm pretty sure this is also the only map in the game where it is fully indoors. So, well actually, except for the roof, because the attackers will spawn on the roof. But once the attackers get inside, like there's no actual like outside area. Like all of these other maps, generally have like an outside area where the attackers can kind of reposition. But this map is almost fully indoors, which is why people, I think, dislike it more. But yeah, honestly, I don't hate Tower that much. I'm going to put it in B tier, just in the middle of the list. This map isn't even in ranked. If it was in ranked, I would probably put it lower, but it's not. It's only in quick match, and I've definitely had a lot of fun on this map before, so we're going to do B tier. Okay, our second last map here is Villa. Villa is just one of those more well-rounded maps, I would say, kind of like Border. I feel like most people would put this map in B tier. Some people like it a lot more, some people like it a lot less. Villa is a fun map to attack and defend on. There's some really good spots for gadgets and stuff on this map. I've definitely got quite a few Razor Bloom kills with Thorn on this map. But back when Flores came out, I also got a lot of kills with Flores's explosive drone as an attacker, so I think there's also a lot of good positions for attackers on this map as well. And generally, I think this map is maybe a little more defender-sided, but if the attackers have a proper strategy in place and they know how to properly enter and get into sight, then this map can also be very attacker-sided, so I think it's kind of either way. And I'm going to put Villa in A tier. Alright guys, so we've finally made it to the final map. This map is called Yacht. This is only a quick match currently, and it's the only other map in the game besides Plane that is on a vehicle rather than, you know, a permanent building. Now, Yacht is actually a yacht, a very large boat that has actually crashed like somewhere really cold and icy. So it's almost become like a permanent building because I don't think that yacht's going anywhere anytime soon. But yeah, it's basically a boat, and the map is very messy. There's like snow everywhere, and overall, I don't think this map has ever been like reworked or anything. Nothing has really happened to this map since it came out, which was Year 1, Season 1 of Siege, Operation Black Ice. And generally, I think people hate this map, as do I. And hopefully it never gets added to ranked. And I think a rework on this map would actually be really cool. One of the ideas I had would be where they would actually take the boat and they would actually make it like in the water again, actually moving. I think that would be really cool to have a moving map. And since you're on a boat, it basically would be the same thing. They wouldn't have to change very much at all. But, you know, that's just an idea of mine. Right now, as it stands, this map is just a boat that's stuck in a bunch of snow and ice. So, yeah. I hate to end on a negative note here, but Yacht is going to get the D tier with Consulate. So, Consulate isn't the only D tier map. It's joined by Yacht. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed my tier list on all of the maps in Rainbow Six Siege as of 2022. This video actually took me a while to make because it took me a lot of researching to do to find like the best tier list that was the most updated. Like I said, this was the most updated one that I could find. The like newest rework here would be Border, actually, which got reworked in Year 6, Season 1. So, just less than a year ago. I couldn't find any tier lists with actual newer like pictures for the maps. But yeah, like I said, I rated it and judged all of these maps based on their newest forms, so as they are right now if you were to go play Siege. And yeah, that's it. We have concluded. So only 20 maps, but this video actually, I think it's going to be quite long. I did go into detail talking about some of them. And yeah, now they are all in place. So D tier is the worst, S tier is the best, and then as you guys can see, the tier list goes down accordingly. And yeah, I think this is a pretty good arrangement here. We have 3 S tier maps, we have 5 in A, B, and C, and then 2 maps that are D tier, which is like the worst. So yeah, let me know in the comments of this video how you guys agree or disagree with my tier list. And yeah, other than that, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys all next time. Goodbye.